Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials.
Good evening. Welcome to our restaurant.
Good evening. We want a dining room with a table for 8.
I'm sorry, sir. The rooms are not available now. But would you like to have your dinner in the dining hall? I can find a table by the window for you.
No, thanks. We have made a reservation before.
Can I have your name, please?
My name is James.
I'll ask waitress to show you the way.
Thanks.
You are an early bird, Tom. What do you do in the morning then?
Exercise. The morning hours are the most precious period within a single day. We should not pass them up easily. Seize the time and do something useful.
So, you choose to spend it on bodybuilding. Where do you exercise?
Usually, I run to the Black Bamboo Park as a warm-up. Admission is free. Then I start my activities.
Do you do the same exercises every day?
No, I've deliberately kept a balance between various exercises: parallel bars, push-ups, sit-ups, bunny hops, 5-kilometer run, and so on. I alternate them over the weekdays. Sometimes, when I find myself in a bad state, I will simply idle about in the park.
Why don't you just stay in bed when you are feeling unfit for exercising?
It's not easy to keep a good habit, you know. I fear that if I fail to get up early one day, I may find it still more difficult to rise early the next. Besides, a mere walk in the early morning is much fun, too. Here and there in the park, you meet whole gangs of senior citizens who might be singing operas or old songs, playing erhu, chess, or just chatting and gossiping. It's interesting to join them.
Oh, yes. Singing is also a good way of keeping fit, at least mentally.
If you're observant, you'll see rare birds, insects, butterflies, and a few reptiles. But you must look for them. There are also a few amphibians in lower places.
Well, let's move. I can see a rest area ahead. We can relax there and see what wildlife is around.
Huh, I am really out of shape. Why aren't you out of breath?
Because I come hiking every week. That's why I'm in good shape. I think that I should bring you a walking stick next time.
How can you say that? But, you could give me a piggyback the rest of the way.
So, you want me to carry your backpack, your thermos flask, our picnic, and you as well. No problem, jump on.
Ouch, I'm hurt.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm okay. I just had a tumble. No big deal.
Good. You scared me.
Sorry. Can you please help me up? I have trouble standing up by myself with the skis on.
Sure. Is this your first time skiing?
Yes. I tried skiing on grass before. Not very good at it, though. How do I look? I love these braids. They're fun.
They look great. Hey, are you hungry? I know a good Ethiopian restaurant, Meskeram.
An Ethiopian restaurant? Whoa. I always think of starving people in Ethiopia.
It's very in these days. Some of the places are really expensive.
That's so ironic. Well, what's it like? Is it your traditional food?
No. Africans and African Americans are different in many ways. Our food's different, too.
Can I give you a lift home, Mrs. Word?
That is very kind of you, Mr. Lee. Thank you.
Could you hold my umbrella when I get my keys out, please?
Of course. It's a terrible night, isn't it?
Dreadful. There. The door is open now.
Thank you.
Could you drive me to the bank?
Of course, ma'am. Tell me where to go.
Go down this road and then turn left.
All right, there we go. I'm planning to buy a bicycle. As you are quite a cycling enthusiast, I wish you might give me some advice.
With pleasure, chap. But before I start, I need to know what you want a bike for.
My purposes are twofold. On the one hand, I've grown bored of commuting on suffocating buses every day and decided to ride to work. On the other hand, bicycling is a sport, and I intend to build up my body through constantly taking a ride over the weekends.
Cycling during weekends? Do you mean riding on the mountainous countryside, just the neighboring towns?
Does that make any difference?
Can't be greater. If you ride on bumpy, hilly roads, a mountain bike is what you need. But if you just ride comfortably along the city lanes, you might choose a road bike.
Are they designed differently?
A road bike features skinny tires and a lightweight frame. Its riding position puts you bent over the handlebars. It's not particularly beefy in construction, and generally, it won't stand up well under heavy loads or on really rough surfaces. In contrast, mountain bikes have wide tires and a stout frame. You sit higher on them and don't have to hunched over.
What can I do for you today?
I have a question.
What do you need to know?
I need to take the driver's course. How many hours do I need?
It depends on what you're trying to do with the completion of the course.
I need to get my license.
You're going to need to complete 6 hours.
How many hours a day can I do?
You can do 2 hours a day for 3 days.
That's all I need to do to finish?
Yes, that's all you need to do.
Thanks. I'll get back to you.
Well, I'd like to have my coat to order. Will you take my measurements?
Certainly. How do you like to have it made?
Make it after the present fashion, please. What if it does not fit?
You may rest assured.
When can I expect to have it?
By the end of next week.
Okay then. See you next weekend. What kind of place shall we rent?
It should be close to the university. Neither of us are good at getting up in the mornings, and closer it is, the later we can get up.
Absolutely. That's the most important thing to take into consideration. I'm not too worried about the size of the flat.
Neither am I, so a small place is okay. But we'll get a bigger one if it's not expensive. Do you mind if it's in a noisy area?
I don't mind. I'm not a light sleeper, but quieter is better for when we have to study at home.
Good point. Okay. Let's go to the estate agent and see what they can offer us.
Yes, if we're lucky we'll find something in the next few days. I think you had a good idea to start flat hunting early.
How much do you think the rent will be?
I asked a few people who are already living in places near the university and they said it would cost about £100 a month.
Hey there, Chris. What are you up to?
I'm just poring over some brochures about various car models.
Oh, so you're thinking about buying a new car?
Yeah, it looks that way. My wife has been bugging me about it. I thought we could probably survive without one. But with a baby on the way, maybe it is time to get a car.
So this would be your first automobile?
That's right. For quite a few years, I rode a bicycle to work. Then I got a motorbike.
Yeah. I think I can understand your wife's position. Asking her to ride on a motorcycle when she's pregnant is a tall order.
Oh, I don't let her ride with me. It's just too dangerous. She takes the bus to work, but it is sometimes difficult to get a seat and it's crowded and hot.
So it's time to buy your very first car. Wow. That's exciting.
Yes, but it's also a pretty big financial responsibility.
Yeah. I still remember my first car. It was an old clunker that my dad gave me when I turned 17. I drove it around for a couple of years until I scraped together enough money to buy a better second-hand car.
I'm having a hard time deciding which model is best for us.
Yeah, it is a tough call. Each one has its pros and cons. Are you looking for a sedan?
Yes, I'd like a Jeep. But my wife says we have to get a comfortable sedan for long drives home to see her relatives.
I'd advise you to listen to your wife. She will be sitting in the back taking care of the kids, so whatever she prefers is probably the best choice.
Welcome. What would you like to order?
I would like to get a double cheeseburger.
Would you like everything on it?
I would like everything on it, thank you.
Do you want any fries?
Let me get some large curly fries.
Can I get you anything to drink?
Sure. How about a medium Pepsi?
Is that everything?
That'll be all, thanks.
You're welcome, and your total is $5.48.
Thank you. Here you go.
Now I'm sure we'll never get all our things back. They're so clever, these criminals. What's the point of collecting beautiful things for other people to steal?
I only wish it were this time yesterday.
Think how happy we were. Now this. Things always go wrong.
Perhaps we ought to get dressed and have breakfast. We'd feel better.
I don't feel like breakfast. I don't feel like anything. Why are we so unlucky? It's as if there were a jinx on us.
Perhaps I'd better ring the police.
Yes, of course. But what good will it do? That man's miles away from here by now. In our car. Let's go to Wangfujing by bus.
Better take the subway. It's faster, and more convenient.
Where do we pay the fares?
Just go to the ticket office in the subway.
Do I have to pay an additional fare to change trains?
No, you don't have to. Here comes the train. Be careful. Subway doors open and close automatically.
May I try on this dress?
By all means. Equals of course. Closing parenthesis.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.